Oh, gear shifter first. Holy crap! You, sir, are a daredevil. That was freaking awesome. Even better than the SL55 I drove last week.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, because it's an AMG.
One man, one engine.
Yep.
Entirely hand-built.
Hard to believe this car is 10 years old.
Yep.
It's an 07 AMG SL55.
510 horsepower standard.
That's awesome. My Jag's only got 294.
It does have paddle shifters.
Yeah.
So usually I'll use the paddle shifters for downshifting. Essentially just locks out other gears.
You know, pull and hold, and it goes right back into normal mode, or 1 through 5 rather. This sucker is loud. Nice thing is, with an engine like this, you only need to do 2,000 RPM accelerations. Whereas in my dad's Honda, you have to do 3,000.
6,000 in this car. Well, when you do 6,000, you're going very, very fast. It's very, very quick.
Yeah.
And the thing about Mercedes-Benz is they're very heavy cars. So
yeah,
you have to, when driving a Mercedes-Benz SL55 with so much horsepower, you really have to be very, very attentive of the road conditions, of corners, because it's so heavy that and so powerful, you could be going well over 100 miles an hour and not realize it and go into a corner way too fast, and you get yourself in a great deal of trouble. So you have to be very, very, very aware of what you're doing with a car like this.
Indeed.
But other than that, it's extremely enjoyable. Compared to a Porsche 911, the Porsche 911 lets you know all the time how fast you're going, and much better. The Porsche 911 is much more of a driver's car. This is a great driver's car, but not in the sense of racing.
Yeah, that's the SLS's job.
Yep.
Too bad they don't make the SLS anymore. I got to sit in one in 2013.
What do they make now? They make
The AMG GT,
the GT,
the GTS, and now the new GTR.
Yeah. And the GTS has the same brake horsepower of this car, 510.
Yeah, and the GTR has 585.
Yeah. No substitute for horsepower.
Nope. They say no substitute for displacement, but I think that's bull. You got superchargers and turbochargers in this world.
Yeah. This is a 5.5 liter supercharged V8.
Yeah, the car I drove last week had a 4.7 liter twin turbo.
Yeah.
M278. Whereas the older S550s and CL550s had the M273, which is a 5.5 liter standalone V8.
I wonder how they can call it a 550 if it doesn't displace 5.5 liters.
Probably because it has a V8, but that's Mercedes. Like 600 means it has a V12.
Yeah, and 6-liter V12.
Right.
It's hard to go fast down here because there's so much going on. So many cars.
We got this truck, and yep, cops. Gotta always be aware of cops. Got heated and ventilated seats. Pretty darn cool.
Carbon fiber inserts everywhere, which is what separates it from the other model years. This is a 2007. The previous year's 2006 to, I believe it's 2002 through 2007 was the year the R230, which is the Mercedes model number of this car.
Oh, cool.
Ran, and it was only in every AMG of that prior to 2007 has 493 horsepower, and in the final year before they did a facelift on the R230, Mercedes-Benz decided they wanted to get above 500. They went to AMG, and AMG kicked it up another 17 horsepower, and it sits at 510 horsepower. So that's what separates this car from all other SL55s, R230s.
Cool. And also, the SLS had carbon fiber.
Yeah.
But back in 2013, I didn't even know what carbon fiber was. I just sat in the car and taped it. I wish I still had the recording, though. I lost it when I switched to Android.
Did the SLS have gull wing doors?
Yep. Electronic shifter, electronic parking brake.
Yep.
That was, yeah, back then, that was when only the S-Class had it. Only the S-Class and the SLS had it at the time, and then the M-Class got it. The M-Class is now the GLE class.
I do like the modern electronics, but my only concern about cars that are so heavily laden with modern electronics is if there's an electrical problem in the car, say the alternator or something like that, the car is completely disabled. There's nothing you can do.
Right, it says park brake fault, ABS fault, BAS fault.
Yep. And you are stuck.
Mm-hmm.
My 2001 Porsche 911 is far more simplistic than that. Not as many electronic amenities, but it does have air conditioning and power seats, all the things like that. But it's a 6-speed manual gearbox, no electronics as far as mechanical things like parking brake or.
So it's a handbrake.
Yep.
See, this has a foot brake.
Yeah, that's typical of Mercedes-Benz. So it's second, third.
Whoa!
And what the viewer needs to realize, I'm not even putting my foot barely on the accelerator at all. If I put it on the floor, it's pretty frightening. So let's see if we can find a place up here just a little bit further. Maybe we go a little faster. But only for a short while so we don't get arrested.
Right.
And we have to be conscious of pedestrians. It is the summertime down at the beach, so we want to be safe.
Yep. Because I know that the SLR McLaren had a handbrake right here. In fact, that is still the fastest Mercedes ever built. One
of my favorite cars. Very, very ferocious car. A car that you have to be a highly skilled and very alert driver if you're going to push the car.
There's a GLA right there.
So I'm trying to let that car go a little bit ahead of us.
So does this have daytime running lights or no?
If I put it in automatic mode, it does.
Yeah, but we don't want to do that because Because, hey, I like doing it manually. I do that in the Jag.
Yeah. Seems like we're having a challenge getting away from all these cars.
Yeah, because you never know what could go wrong with the sensors in old cars.
U-turn right here. Again, more cars coming. We can't seem to escape this traffic. We'll wait a little bit and see if...
Another weird thing that Mercedes has fixed is where the turn signal stock is located. Yeah, like for example, take the W221 S-Class and the W222 S-Class. The turn signal stock has been relocated to be on the top instead of in the middle.
Let's see if we let that car go a little bit. We'll just put it to the floor for a second.
Holy crap! Oh my god. That's going to piss off the neighbors.
And you can only, with so much horsepower, you can only do things like that for a few seconds.
That's right. It's not only is it fast, but it's loud.
Yeah, I performed what's called a Resonator Deletion on this car. I went to a specialized exhaust shop and had the resonators cut out of the car. Typically you have the exhaust manifold that goes to the catalytic converter, that goes to the exhaust resonators, and then finally to the exhaust tips. So we just have catalytic converters, exhaust, muffler, and then exhaust tips.
Here we go again.
And the brakes,
Holy crap!
very powerful brakes.
Reminds me of 2012 when Jafe took me in his Volkswagen GTI. He slammed on the brakes and I was like, Jesus Christ, stop.
Very important to have powerful brakes when you have a powerful car. You have to be able to stop the car.
Alright, yeah, we gotta get back to the house. Yeah.
And that is the 2007 Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG.
And it's funny how they flipped it around to say AMG blank. Don't forget the parking brake. There we go.
That's it.
What a sweet ride.
Well, thank you for making that video, Adam.
No problem. You can view it anytime on YouTube.
Awesome.
Self-closing doors, just like the CL550 I drove.